Welcome to my channel, children. Today let us start the geography first chapter of class 8, the earth, our living planet. In this chapter we are going to learn names of the earth, the size of the earth and distribution of water on it, continents and oceans of the world, latitudes and longitudes, time, local time, standard time and international dateline, oceans and continents on the world map. Do you know, children, where we are living? We are living on the earth. It is the third planet from the sun. The earth is the home for all forms of life, like plants, animals and human beings. Because of its suitable distance from the sun, range of temperature, life supporting gases, atmosphere, water cycle, etc., our earth is called by many names. Some of them living planet, unique planet, watery planet, blue planet. Size of the earth. Distribution of land and water bodies. The earth is the fifth largest planet in the sun's family. The diameter of the earth is approximately 4 times greater than the moon and it is around 107 times less than that of the sun. The total geographical area of the earth is 510 million square kilometers, of which 361 million square kilometers, that is 70.78%, is covered by water, and 149 million square kilometers, that is 29.22%, is covered by land. Thus, the earth has unequal distribution of land and water. The ratio between the land and the water bodies is 1:2.43. The earth's shape is often described as geoid, which literally means earth-shaped or oblate spheroid. The earth is flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator. The equatorial diameter of the earth is 12,756 kilometers and the polar diameter is 12,714 kilometers. Equatorial circumference 40,076 kilometers and polar circumference is 40,008 kilometers. The difference of 42 kilometers in diameter is the proof for regarding the geoid shape of the earth. The land bodies of the earth are known as continents. There are 7 continents, namely Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe and Australia. The continents are land masses of large size. Asia is the largest continent in the world, while Australia is the smallest continent. The large water bodies on the earth are called oceans. There are 4 major oceans. They are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. The Pacific is the largest and deepest ocean, while the Arctic is the smallest and shallowest ocean. The land and water bodies are unevenly distributed between the northern and the southern hemispheres. The northern hemisphere has 60% of land and 40% of water. Therefore, it is called the land hemisphere. On the other hand, there is 81% of water and 19% of land in the southern hemisphere, and so it is called as the water hemisphere. Longitudes and latitudes. How do we understand the location of place, direction and distance between places? The earth is spherical in shape, therefore it is difficult to locate the places, the direction and calculate distance between places. In order to understand the relations between different places on earth and their exact location, we have to understand their position, their distance from any fixed point and also their exact direction. To know the position, distance and direction, east and west or north and south, a network of lines are drawn on the globe. These are known as lines of latitudes and longitudes. The horizontal lines are the lines of latitudes and the vertical ones are the lines of longitudes. These lines intersect each other at right angle and create a network called grid or Gratitude. Latitudes. Latitudes is an imaginary line which joins all the places which have the same angular distance east or west of the equator. It is measured in degrees. The equator, 0 degree, is the longest line of latitude known as the Great Circle. It is equal to the circumference of the earth. Other lines of latitudes are of shorter length. The length of lines of latitude decreases with the distance from the equator. All lines of latitudes are circles and parallel to the equator. Therefore, lines of latitudes are called parallels of latitude. There are 90 degrees of latitudes on each side of the equator. 90 degrees of north and south are points. Including equator, totally there are 181 latitudes on the globe. The ground distance between 2 degrees of latitudes is 110.4 kilometers. Important latitudes are 0 degree latitude, also called as equator or Great Circle. 23.5 degree north latitude, also called Tropic of Cancer. 23.5 degrees south latitude, Tropic of Capricorn. 66.5 degree circle, north latitude, Arctic Circle. 66.5 degrees south latitude, Antarctic Circle. 90 degrees north, North Pole, and 90 degrees south, called South Pole. Longitudes. The imaginary lines that intersect equator at right angle joining the north and south are called longitudes. On the globe, longitudes are shown as a series of semicircles that run from pole to pole, passing through the equator. All lines of longitude are of equal length. Lines of longitude are called meridians. Meri means mid and dian means day, because all places along the same meridian of longitude experience noon or midday at the same time. The meridian passing through Greenwich inland has been chosen as prime meridian. It is marked as 0 degree longitude. There are 180 of longitudes to the east and 180 of longitudes to the Greenwich to the west. Thus, there are 360 degree of longitudes. The zone between the prime meridian and 180 degree east longitude is called as the eastern hemisphere. The opposite zone is called the western hemisphere. The distance between two consecutive longitudes decreases gradually with distance from the equator. This is because the meridians of longitude converge at two poles. On the equator, the distance between two consecutive meridians is 111 kilometers. Longitude and time. There is a definite relation between longitude and time. The earth is rotating on its axis and completes one rotation in 24 hours. This means 360 longitudes are covered in a period of 24 hours. This gives rise to a time difference of 4 minutes for every 1 degree of longitude, 60 minutes or 1 hour for every 15 degrees of longitude. The time difference is to be added, east gain add, in case of places to the east of Greenwich Mean Time, and in case of places to the west, the time differences is to be subtracted, that is west loss subtract. Local time. The time according to the longitude of a place or according to the position of the sun at that place is known as the local time. This is based on the local meridian passing over that place. When the sun is shining vertically over the longitude, it is 12 noon at that place. All places situated on the same meridian have the same local time. Every longitude has its own local time. Standard time. As the local time varies from place to place, it would create considerable confusion of each place where to follow its own local time. In order to avoid confusion, many countries follow uniform time throughout the country. Such uniform time is based on the central meridian of the country or the meridian on which the most important city is located. This uniform time, which is followed throughout the country, is called standard time of that country. In India, 82.5 degree east longitude is considered as the standard meridian of the country. It passes through Allahabad of Uttar Pradesh. The time based on this meridian is called the Indian Standard Time, that is IST. It is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead to Greenwich Mean Time. Time zones. In certain countries of the world where the longitudinal extent is so large, more than 45 degrees of longitude, that there is often a difference of 3 to 4 hours between one part and the other. The land surface is divided into time zones. The whole globe is divided into 24 such time zones, so that the time in each zone differs from the other, but only 1 hour. Large countries like Russia, USA, Canada, and Australia have vast longitudinal extent, therefore, they have different time zones. Russia has 11 time zones, USA and Canada have 5 time zones, and Australia has 3 time zones. International dateline. The problem of time in countries of the world was solved first by the standard time and then by the zonal time. But the circumnavigation of the world brought a new problem in keeping the correct date and day in the week for the travelers. Therefore, a time passing through 180 degrees meridian diametrically opposite to GMT, that is Greenwich Mean Time, was adopted as the point where circumnavigators should make adjustments. This line is supposed to pass Pacific Ocean along 180 degrees meridian, but made short detours in order to avoid land masses. This is known as the international date line because the date and day is changed whenever people cross this line by ships or aeroplanes. Any ship crossing this line from west to east, that is from Asia to North America, takes a day twice, while the ship crossing this line from east to west, that is from America to Asia, drops 1 day.